talk on it a little bit. I just want to make sure everything running smooth.
Sounds good, my guy. This is your ship. I'm just here for the ride, brother.
Yes, sir.
What you want me to call you, by the way?
I mean,
Gilbert? Vernon, I mean?
it's kind of crazy because sometimes I don't be knowing, like, I don't know if I want to be called by Vernon. Some days I'll be like, I like Vernon, and some days I'll be like, I like JR. So I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. It's kind of like, some people always call me like DJ. So it's like, depending on, but we're at the paper, they be calling me Vernon. They don't call me JR. Yeah, shout out to the Presta standing because they don't want to call me JR.
Okay.
So they be like Vernon. So I don't know. Like, it depends on what you feel like. Oh, gonna be double. We gonna be professional. You gonna be professional? Or you
Yeah,
gonna be
well,
like Jazz?
also, too, I feel like if I try to change in my head who I think you are right now, then I'm just going to, let's just go with Vernon. Just keep it simple for me. I just want to make sure that was okay and respectful if I call
Oh
you
yeah, yeah,
Vernon.
yeah, yeah.
All right.
But what? I mean, Stephan.
Yeah, yes, sir.
So do you go by anything else? Or like,
Oh,
whatever?
some people say Steph when they don't want to say the whole thing, but Steph or Stephen is fine.
Stephan.
Yeah.
I would ask you what your nickname is, but I don't know. I don't know if we need to. I don't know if we need to ask that too early to the conversation.
Wait, which one?
Which you got? Cause everybody got nicknames, so I ain't know if you got a nickname as well.
Yeah, I do.
Hey, I don't know.
But it's from a different world. It has nothing to do with this. So it's from a different world. I was actually going to show you that right after. I'll show you something.
So
That might be a different podcast.
I want if I'm nervous. Should I ask this question? If anybody that's watching right now, if y'all might know his nickname, don't put it in the chat. Don't you do it.
You'll get a lot of people. They can put it in the chat. You'll get a lot of people who do know. You'll get a lot of people who do know.
I don't know if I want them to put them in the chat, because if they put it in the chat, then it's gonna be like, dang, I want to wait. But hey, yo, if y'all do know his nickname, just I don't know, put some thumbs up, some thumbs up. Hey, yo, good afternoon, everybody, man. We in the building right now. It is a Friday.
Yes, sir.
It's a Friday. It's hot now, boy. Summertime. Oh my God, y'all just don't understand,
That's
bro.
ridiculous.
Yes, it's a little warm out there, but I thank God for the heat because I can't stand the cold.
Mm-hmm.
I got my boy, Stephan,
Yes,
in
sir.
the building right now.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I don't know if you had to shut the gym down to come here, but I appreciate you taking some time out your busy schedule, because it took us a while to get this together, but we got it together.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So,
Thank you for having me, my guy. I appreciate the opportunity to use your platform and for you to further things in the community like you always do. And I appreciate being a guest of yours.
oh yeah. You gotta love technology.
Yes, sir.
It does what you want, and sometimes it don't want to listen.
Yeah, right at the right time.
It's like, dang, bro, why you not listen to me, bro? Well, I mean, why I got you here, I think it'd be pretty cool if you can introduce yourself and kind of let everybody know XYZ about you. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Stephan La Presta. I run a martial arts academy called Low Country Grappling Arts out of Walterboro, South Carolina. I also am a consultant sometimes, and sometimes an actual paid coach for the wrestling program at Colleton County Middle School and High School. We kind of act as a feeder program for the wrestling school and vice versa. That when the wrestlers age out of wrestling, a lot of them start training with me for MMA and Jiu-Jitsu. Primarily what we do at Low Country Grappling Arts is kid bully proofing. We have a bully proofing program for our kids martial arts program. And we teach a grappling combination of Judo, Jiu-Jitsu, and collegiate wrestling. And so we try to do good in the community. A big concern of mine is raising health awareness in this community, having a fitness culture like it's starting to build now in our community. And we're just here. I'm here today to share information with Walterboro and Colleton County about how these programs could benefit their family and their children.
All right, we gonna dive into about the program, but I feel like we gotta probably go back, maybe just try to get some groundwork about who was Stephan before Low Country Grappling. So, what was you and who were you in your childhood? I don't know how far you want to go back.
Well, I'll say I was very young when I started martial arts, so that's a young enough age that kind of gives you perspective. But I was raised, me and my two brothers were raised by a single father, who basically had to work all day. Yeah,
Whoa.
yeah,
Okay.
three boys. Two of us were half brothers,
Hmm.
and but we don't look at it like that. We're
What,
just brothers.
where do you fall at between the two
I'm the
brothers?
oldest.
Oldest?
I'm the
So
oldest.
you the oldest.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. How is it to be the oldest brother? Because some people know the oldest brother. I'm the oldest. So we got to take on responsibilities. We got to look out for everybody. We get blamed when the other ones not doing what they're supposed to do. So
Well,
yeah.
I feel like I didn't. Looking back, it was amazing, but at the time, I didn't really have a fair shake at being a proper big brother because I was forced into a role where I had to try to be more of a parent. But you know, as a nine, eight,
Oh.
9 year old, because when a mother abandons a family and
Okay.
three boys are left with a man, that man still got to work.
True. True. True.
Someone, got to be home and make the macaroni and cheese and make sure the kids put their judo gis on and make sure they're safe walking 3 miles to the judo school up Highway 78 to College Park Road so we could go to judo class. Um,
Whoa.
so yeah, it was.
You was into martial arts at that young age.
Yeah, it actually started when we were in daycare. Little Lambs, shout out to Miss Mac at Little Lambs Elementary off of College Park Road. A judo school opened up called Charleston Martial Arts, and right next to the daycare. And it was perfect because Dad was already having problems with us getting bullied a lot, and so he always wanted us to be able to defend ourselves. And he
Hmm.
himself, as a kid, was bullied and felt like he never properly stood up for himself till he joined the army. And definitely didn't want to see his kids be a victim the way he felt like he was a victim as a young man. So the
Mm.
minute the opportunity landed, it was perfect. He didn't have to worry about transportation to there. The daycare shut down. We walk over to judo class. Until we aged out of the daycare, that's when we would just be at home and have to walk the 2 miles to class every day.
So you said the word bullying, and that word right there. Is a word that I understand. But some people might not think that people are actually experience that as men. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like men,
Yeah.
men get bullied, and some people be like, "How?" So can you maybe explain? So we can get a little bit of to figure out what was that like then?
Well, bullying starts a huge cycle. I was bullied, so I bullied those I could bully. I was both bullied and a bully. So I seen it from both perspectives. And mostly my little brothers caught the worst of it. That's why I said, yeah, that's why I said I didn't get a fair shake.
Man,
Part of it is when
oh wow,
when you're 9 years old or 10 years old or 11 years old, and it's your responsibility to make sure the dishes are done, food is on the table, everybody's did what they had to do. You don't know any other tactics when you got two other wild little brothers running around who don't want to do those things.
hmm,
So and plus there's no parent. Dad's at work, he'll
yeah,
be at
yeah,
home from work soon. And so, but also too, now I realize the only reason I dealt with them like that is because that's how I was dealt with, and that's how I thought you dealt with people who, coming up in North Charleston, going to Alice Burney Middle. That's how I was dealt with. If you disagreed with the status quo,
mm,
you had to physically pay. I remember one time being on a bus, and the only thing they were mad at me for was snitching, because I would sit up in front of this bus. They would throw batteries at the back of my head. They would just, laugh at me, ridicule me, make me feel humiliated. And one day, I stood up with myself, and the only way I was taught I was right was to tell an authority that I'm
okay,
having a problem. And so, of course, they call these people in the office and, you know, suspend them. But today, you could ride the bus home. And so, yeah,
what?
I remember this guy. I was in the 6th grade, and I think he was falsely in the 8th grade. I think he was supposed to be in high school at the time. He had like
Uh,
muscle definition at the time, and I was just a little pudgy kid. And he walked past me, acted like he tripped over my chair, looked at me, kind of acting like I tripped him up,
Yeah.
and just started. And this was a kid who a lot of younger kids were deathly afraid of. I mean, you know the difference between a regular kid and that one kid in school who just seems a little more jacked for no reason. He was that type of dude, and he just started just beating on me, and I just sat there and took it because I did judo since I was 9 years old.
Okay.
But I never was confident in it. I never thought it worked in a fight because all my friends in the neighborhood, they box and it was all striking. Every TV show, every movie, fights are just striking. Yeah, throwing hands and feet, mostly throwing hands. So even while I was learning it and my dad was telling me it was self-defense, I didn't think that it was. And I didn't think that I was learning any type of, even as a kid, I'm like, I'm good at this against other people who do this.
Yeah.
But these guys on the street, they punching, they kicking, they ain't wrestling, they ain't doing judo, because the first thing I started learning was judo. So when I really realized it worked is in the 9th grade. A really big, over 200-pound, super senior kid decided to pick on me as a freshman, and I was just a 140-pound small freshman. Mm-hmm. And he for some reason decided he was going to bully me, and I got trapped in a situation to where I had to fight him. Whole bunch of kids surrounded us, and I was so scared. My instincts kicked in. He was way bigger than me.
Okay.
He went to punch me. I ducked it. I made a body clench like we do in wrestling or judo. I did an inside trip. He went to the ground. That's when I realized once we hit the ground, he had no idea what to do. So I got on top of him in what we call a mount position and applied. I shouldn't have admitted it was a chokehold. My dad said at the time I should have called it a neck restraint.
A neck restraint.
Yeah, and next thing you know, the whole school knew my name after that because how did this 140-pound kid just... And then when I put that big dude in the chokehold, he just went spastic. Oh, get off of me. Get off of me. The cops tackled me off of him, and I'm the one, this small little dude is getting hauled away in cuffs. And that's when I realized, this stuff does work. This stuff really does work because people don't know what to do when the distance closes in a fight. Once they can't punch or kick you, you might know that more than me about boxing. But I at least know a little bit I know what a punch is. And I know that I don't want to get punched in the face, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes to grappling, they have no context. They don't know the first move, the first concept, what I'm supposed to do. The normal person, right? You don't know what to do. What's the right thing to do if a guy takes you down right now?
I wouldn't even know what to start doing. I mean, exactly. Me personally, I might be trying to get back up. But that might be the disadvantage.
Sometimes it is.
Because you're trying to get up, but you know how to keep that person locked.
Exactly. And you have to get back up in a way that where you're not vulnerable to get someone to get on your back and choke you or to knock you out as you're getting up.
Now, you said you had a couple fights while you was in school and you was getting bullied during the process. Do you feel like that made you more of a violent person, or did that turn you into something different? You know what I mean? Because some people get bullied and they start getting more violent.
Oh yeah, my neighborhood and my atmosphere definitely made us more violent. I mean, growing up in North Charleston, in Ladson in a trailer park, low income, a lot of people moving in and out, a lot of diversity, a lot of mixed in different cultures.
So you was around different races.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Not just I don't like to say certain words because some people take it in the wrong way.
I got you.
But you know what I mean. But
I'm
you was in a melting pot.
Correct too.
Yeah. I want to be I don't want nobody to be in the comments being like, oh my God, he's being So you was in a melting pot, different type of XYZ.
For sure.
Okay. So some people feel like that might add to the violence of maybe making you more aggressive versus to being not as aggressive.
For sure. I mean, I know if I definitely learned that, hey, if you're too much of a dork, you get beat up. Hey, if you got the wrong shoes on, you could get beat up. Hey,
shoes?
If you're getting made fun of by 3 or 4 of us and you get tired of it and you speak up for yourself, we could beat you up. I mean, it was literally a reality in my childhood. And so, yeah, I definitely responded in kind and it probably made me more violent. And luckily, martial arts channeled that. It gave me a place, especially when I realized it was really something special after that fight in the ninth grade. When I
Hmm.
realized, oh, when my judo instincts kicked in and I actually used it and used it correctly, this stuff does work. It really does. Um, then I started being more confident, and when you're more confident,
Mm.
it's weird. Those situations come around way less because the type of person you are, people sense that aura. You're not one to be picked on, and also you don't have a chip on your shoulder. Back before I did martial arts, if someone smaller than me was to pick a fight with me, I probably would love to beat them up to prove I'm a tough guy. Now, when 9 times out of 10 if someone tries to provoke me, I just laugh. There's nothing I have left to prove. When what I do got to prove, the right people already know. So when you're a martial artist, less of that happens. It actually makes you less of a violent person because I'm a man. I
Wow.
have a warrior spirit, and that gives me a field to explore that, a healthy place and space where I could express my warrior spirit. And I think that's what a lot of these kids in this community need.
Now, now at the age when you was 9 or 10, like you might, we got people that's listening right now, and they might got kids that's 9 or 10. What are some of the things that the signs, if some parents might not be noticing their kids, you know what I mean, are getting bullied? What are some of the signs that you think that could be those red flags to let you know you might want to have this conversation with your child?
Telltale sign is when you see a child that often, and he wasn't like this before school or before being socialized, but now he doesn't like to speak his mind. When you try to tell him to express himself or ask them a question, they almost whisper below their breath and look away from when you're talking. That's a child that's probably learning in a social environment that you cannot freely express yourself, or you will get bullied. Um, Low confidence in general. You know, if you had a kid that's confidence was healthy before he started being socialized, and now the confidence has drastically dropped, that is a
Mm.
telltale sign. And lastly, I would say body language. You could really
Hmm.
tell in the body language. How are they when they interact with other kids? Do they seem closed off and guarded, or do they seem open and free and feel safe when they're around other kids? A lot of times when you see a kid and they're closing off, holding their hand in front of them, fidgeting, look away, that's a kid who has been taught at some level they're not free to express themselves and look at people in the eye
Mm.
and use their hands to talk, you know.
Okay, okay. Well, since we got the telltale signs, what would be some of the things that you could probably break that, or to maybe help that child to be able to have those conversations?
Um, Well, the first thing that has to be done is the kid himself has to feel like something has changed in his environment. I mean, you could try to talk to him and you could try to reverse that trauma, but until something has changed recognizably in his pattern of life, they're not going to trust that they're safe. You know, when they see a
Ooh.
recognized difference, okay, my dad did this for me. My dad removed this bad thing out of my environment. My mom, okay, I'm getting bullied. My mom put me in boxing. My mom, okay, I'm scrawny. I'm not strong enough. I'm not doing well in sports. They put me in a functional fitness gym. Um, they have to see action steps. And a lot of times, all we like to use with kids is words. And you know, a kid isn't as stupid as we think. They know when, okay, you said all that stuff, but I don't know how to make it apply. Why don't you grab me by the hand because I'm a child and
Mhm.
let's take some action steps. Let me see something visible that's going to make me feel safer. And then they'll probably start to conversate with you more.
Since you brought up that with your gym, do you have like are we gonna go into it a little bit more?
Okay.
But do you offer special programs to the parents who might got a child that's getting bullied to maybe help with this, or y'all have like a I guess a bully expert or something in the gym with y'all?
That would be me.
Yes sir, yes sir.
like like I said, I know it from both sides. I was bullied and was a bully. So the curriculum at that age, here's why it's a bully proofing program, and
All
I
right.
don't just call it self defense in general.
Mm.
You can't. Here's the problem with some martial arts, not all, or the way they're taught. Not every threat needs to be handled the same way, and kids need to understand that. And when all a kid knows how to do is roundhouse kick another kid, and let's say they put him in kickboxing for self-defense, and your kid is now thinking that the only proper way to defend myself from any physical situation is kickboxing. So
Ah,
little Timmy, is in kindergarten class, and little Timmy just gets shoulder checked by, the little big bully kid.
hmm.
Threat is over. Nothing else has happened, and now it's time to communicate with an authority. But little Timmy's in Muay Thai, so he decides to roundhouse kick the bully right in the face. Who's in trouble? And little
Yeah,
Timmy's in
he
trouble,
gonna
not
get
the
in trouble
bully. Yeah,
because yeah, the bully just shrugged him, but he
yeah.
responded in a more, I guess, violent a way.
In a overly aggressive manner. So that's why we have. Not only do I teach the kids these techniques, but some of the parents can attest that once in a while, when the kids don't love this, half of the class is taken up with a chat that I have with them.
Mm.
And we talk about the difference between self-defense and aggression, the difference between trying to hurt somebody or trying to neutralize a threat and get safe.
Mm.
So we use demonstrations, and people come up and act out these situations with me. But we go through different scenarios. I say, hey, okay, some of these moves we're learning to choke people out, to break arms, to break legs. For one, you kids need to know this is super dangerous stuff. That's why
Yes,
we
sir.
tap out. That's why we let go. That's why we practice it in a safe environment. For one, you kids need to understand if you shatter a kid's arm or break a kid's leg or choke a kid out, you could potentially either kill them or maim them.
Yes,
And
sir.
this stuff is not to be taken lightly. And the great thing about Jiu-Jitsu versus some martial arts is there's levels. Maybe it's just a drunk uncle at a barbecue, and I don't want to knock him out, choke him out, or break his arm. I might just want to close the distance, take him down to the ground, control the situation. I've had to do it before. If little Timmy only knows how to punch in the face, that's all little Timmy's going to do. But if someone's taught little Timmy that, hey, this kid's pushing you, move out the way, trip him to the floor, and then you walk away. You go get a teacher. Okay? This bully,
Oh,
but we talk
dang,
about
that's
levels. We talk
crazy.
about the difference between a quick shove, a quick hit, and then okay. When is it okay, Sensei? When is it okay to use the more injurious techniques,
Hmm.
the arm locks, the chokeholds? And I would say this: you would know. You would know the difference between someone bullying you just to offend you and get on your nerves, and when you're scared for your actual health. I say, in that moment when you're scared for your actual health, you'll know when it's the right time to use the more dangerous stuff. You just got to be aware. You just got to be looking for it. You got to be telling yourself what type of threat and how should I respond. And then I just explain to them, we're just here to neutralize. If neutralizing means choking you out and going to sleep because you won't stop trying to claw my face and hit me and harm me, I do teach the kids they do not need to be victims. Their parents do not send them to school to be
Ah,
victims. Their parents bring them to me so they don't come home hurt by other kids who are having problems with the way they're being raised. So I do tell them you do not have to be a victim. There's plenty of cameras to see how the situation went down, and there's plenty of right for these kids to defend themselves. But we also can't turn into the bully. We also can't go beyond neutralizing a threat to hurting another kid because we know something they don't.
if whoever watching right now, I got a question. We got any administrators, anybody that's in the school system, or anybody that's middle school, high school? I want to know, and I'm curious, like neutralizing a threat in school. How is that uh, uh looked upon?
Perceived, yeah.
I mean, how is that looked upon when a child is basically getting bullied, and the bully decides to take it to the next level and go to the next tier from just talking, using words, to now putting a physical hands on the child, and
Absolutely.
then you decide to neutralize the situation by saying you're not going to hit me because you shouldn't be hitting me, and I shouldn't have to take that hit. So how do we bridge that? Like I'm curious about that, and I'm also curious how does that also come back to you? Let's say one of your students was getting bullied, and they do neutralize the situation. How do we make sure that that child doesn't get punished for basically protecting themselves? Yeah,
That
like seriously.
that's part of the chat. That's where kids get more confused because the reality is they're still going to get in trouble. The reality is they're still going to face the same
Uh,
consequences. Um, but it's a lot easier for that to may not happen if mom could come to school and say, "Look, they had my kid trapped in the, he tried to get away. Now he's in the hallway. He got him against the wall. All my kid did was take him to the ground and hold him there until someone came.
okay, okay, okay.
Okay, look, this kid is trying to punch my kid. My kid ducked under the punch, did a double leg takedown, got on top of him, and just held him there till a teacher came. My kid had plenty of opportunity to punch your child, but he was using restraint. He just wanted to neutralize the threat. Or, look, yes, my kid had to break that kid's arm. He was being pummeled by him and two other kids, you know? So there's different levels, and we talk through that with the kid. We do a little act. I walk up. I said, "What if I'm the bully and I walk up to Vernon and I just slap Vernon on the back and walk away? Should Vernon come and double leg takedown, rear naked choke, make me, choke me unconscious?" And some of the kids will be like, most of the kids, no, no, no. What should I do? Tell a teacher. The threat's over. Yes, they harmed me. Yes,
Oh,
they bullied me, but then they walked away. I'm in no immediate danger. And then we talk about, okay, what if a kid is pushing you, pushing you? You asked them, you used your big voice to try to call for help. Nobody's coming. And the kid just won't get off of you. They're not punching you. They're not biting you. They're not clawing your eyes, but they're definitely bullying you and definitely trying to trap you in a situation. Is it okay to maybe do a judo throw or a takedown or a wrestling technique on this person and try to control them? And some kids will say yes, some kids will say no. And I would explain to them. I would say in this situation, I would try to take them down and then get up and get away. If when I take them down, they're still trying to hurt me from the ground, then I know I need to stay on top of them and control until a teacher gets here or an
mhm.
authority figure gets here. Um, and with the women's self-defense, not only the kids, a lot of what I have to teach is not to fight another person, because when there's a size disadvantage, most of the time I don't care what you know, they're not going to win. But there's a way to get to safety. There's a way to survive and not get hurt if you do the right things.
All right, Joe. Y'all, if y'all just tapping in and tuning in, I got my man Stephan in the building, and we've been talking about low country grappling, his gym martial arts, and bullying. Oh yeah, we got some people in the chat. Facts, 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 bro. Bringing it. Yes, he is bringing it. Matter of fact, I'm learning something today, because I mean, I used to get bullied, and that's something I don't talk about, because some people don't understand that it does affect a child at a young age, and it makes you shelter yourself, and you don't want to do the things that are fun to you.
Hmm.
And sometimes
Stifles.
it makes you violent. Sometimes it makes you mad, but sometimes you mad, but you don't do nothing about it. You're
Hmm.
just being mad. And the bully is basically living their life,
Yep.
having a good old time, and they're doing it to somebody else.
Well, I would say, excuse me, I would say more often than not, the bully is being bullied. I don't think there's any bullies out there living their best life. They're
What?
hurt people hurt people. You know,
Uh,
if kids don't just decide to wake up and be a bully one day. I would say, unless there's always an exception to the rule, but from my experience, about probably 80 to 90% of the kids that we would consider bullies probably experience some sort of bullying, whether at home or in their socialized community. And I'd be
ooh,
hard pressed for you to find me a child that, if when you question him on why he handles people the way he handles people, if you dug down deep, he could probably give you plenty of examples where he's been handled the same way. So that's another thing I tell the kids. That's why we don't take the bully down and just break his arm for no reason. This person has been hurt by somebody to make them act like that, and he is a child too.
wow.
Hurt people, and almost all bullies are a product of bullying. I won't say 100% because there's always exceptions to the rule.
Hmm.
There's mental health issues. There's all type. There's always an exception to a rule,
Yeah, yeah.
but I think 80 to 90% is a safe percentage.
All right, y'all. Anybody that's watching, man. Anybody that's watching, if y'all been bullied before, we want to know about it. We want to talk about it as well too. Cause we're not. It's not just us talking. It's y'all too talking as well. So if y'all can jump in them comments, man, because I most definitely can read them and see them. We'll really appreciate it right now. And I got my boy Stephen in the building, and we've been talking about his childhood. Now, let's move to sports. Did you do any sports other than jujitsu?
Buddy, I tried them all. I tried them all.
What?
Yeah, yeah.
Please don't tell.
I
I
think the
can't
only
see you
one
tennis.
maybe
I
not.
can't see you playing tennis. I can't see it. I
No,
can't see it.
that's crazy. That's crazy because my other two brothers, who are also martial artists,
Yeah.
they did play tennis in high school. They both
What?
played tennis for the high school. They love tennis. I was the only one who didn't
See,
play tennis.
I see. That's why I say I don't know why. I just can't see you with the tennis racket. Like yo, like I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. So basketball, football.
Um,
Um,
Basketball, I knew I sucked because coming up in the neighborhood, that's something we play on the street a lot. So I was always that guy, and I still am. I'm the guy playing the heavy defense. I'm the guy who's just there to foul you and just stop the momentum. You know, teams, I do get picked up because I'm a try hard. I'll put 100% and I'll be as aggressive as possible. But if you have me shoot that ball, that
So
thing
it's
is not going in.
not the Shaq jumper.
I was okay at football.
Yeah.
Something in me knew I kind of like this, but this ain't I want to I want to hurt this person more. You know, I want to pick him up. I need more time to hit this guy. So it just didn't speak to me the way it spoke to a lot of my peers. And so plus coming from judo at 9 years, tried soccer as a young kid, tried baseball, really sucked at baseball. It seems like I just don't have very good throwing accuracy. I think that's the issue.
He's basically said it's not that it's not the sport. It's just that, you know, whenever I got to take this and put it there,
Yep.
or put the ball through the hoop,
Yep.
yeah, it's not doing what it's supposed to do.
Yes. If you give me any ball, I am going to look dumb throwing it. But if you give me a human being, I will dump them on their head and look very good doing it. So,
Bruh.
the only thing I can throw is a human. Turns
Hey,
out.
he's I never seen a human being get thrown us up in wrestling. So wrestling, how is that? Because you know I didn't know that Colleton County had a wrestling program until I got invited by a coach. Oh my God, I don't want to. What's the you know the coach name?
Jock Glover.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got
Close
invited,
friend of mine.
and I didn't realize how big of a wrestling program
Yes.
they got, and it's very organized, very efficient. They got girls and guys on the team, and it was different to see that because I didn't have wrestling coming up in school. So, do you have any ties with that or?
Absolutely. So, part of why it grew is because we introduced a middle school. There was a middle school program, but it was never handled to its full potential. And I think when we took the middle school program more seriously, and me and Coach Jock was already putting a lot of time, blood, sweat, and tears into that program. But then, so here's a quick thing. I wrestled on the first team, Colleton County, first wrestling team Colleton County ever had in the 2003, 2004 school year.
Hold on, you was a part of the first wrestling program.
Yes.
How big was it at that moment?
It actually, when it started out, it was, I think we even had all weight classes filled. I think we were a pretty big team of about 20 people. Yeah.
20 people.
Yeah.
Bro, that's a lot of people, bro.
Yep.
Like that's more people than a basketball team.
Yeah. For wrestling teams, that's kind of small because you got, the first person at that weight class, and you usually want to have 2 or 3 other guys in case this guy gets hurt, this guy gets sick. So, but yeah, for a new program, that was pretty big. And so that was under Coach Locke. And it's just another thing with my dad. My dad knew we were getting good at this judo. We were getting good at this grappling and wrestling, jiu-jitsu, judo. It's all the same thing. We just separated into these 3 sports, make little tiny changes, but it's all about taking another human being who is trained and trying to attack and control and cause harm to you or control you and pin you, you being able to do it back to them, and you understanding the chess game enough to, even when you know everything I'm about to try to do to you, I'm still able to put it together in a way where you can't stop it. So these are chess games. That's why I love these sports.
Now, this martial art that you practice, the main purpose of it is to eliminate the threat. And when you say eliminate the threat, more or less stop them from trying to hurt you and hurt themselves.
Correct.
Now, do you feel like with that, is it enough? Like, because sometimes some people just don't stop.
Hmm.
Like, what decisions have to happen for you to say I have to increase the level of physicalness to this person?
When, okay, I tried holding him down, but he's still biting, he's still clawing, he's still trying to punch me from the bottom. He's still, the minute I get up off of him, he's still going to attack him. I've had to put people to sleep before. I've had to choke people. The jiu-jitsu moves I have used to end a fight have usually been chokeholds because it doesn't cause that much damage. The person falls asleep, they take a quick little 30-second snooze, they wake up not knowing what happened, and I'm out of there. I try not to use arm bars and leg locks because I don't want to snap somebody's arm or snap somebody's knee. I don't mind slamming somebody. I've slammed people on the hard ground before with judo throws. But yeah, just when the person can't hurt you or they're not trying to hurt you anymore, and when they're still trying to hurt you. That's when you take it to the. If you were attacking me right now, my first thing would be to gain control of you. I got to stop you from attacking me. But if the attack continued, even when I've gained somewhat control, you're still trying to scramble. You're still grabbing for things. Now I'm going to apply a chokehold, and usually I'm not going to squeeze at first. I'm going to squeeze it and let you know it's there and let go. And hopefully some people in my past have seen like, okay, I see you got me, and they start to chill. They might talk some smack, but at least they stop attacking you because they see, oh, this man's going to choke me unconscious. But some people, drunk, whatever, will still trying to reach in their pocket for a pocket knife, trying to grab you by the groin, trying to reach back and claw. That's when you just got to squeeze and make them see what it's like to live without breath.
Ooh, y'all heard what he said, right?
I didn't mean for that to be that cold.
He said
but I didn't want to gloss over. I digressed it. I didn't want to gloss over the wrestling team and the work that Coach Jock and Coach Michael are doing. Yeah. So when I met them a few years ago, we kind of set up this relationship. They both train jiu-jitsu with me, and they help us with our wrestling techniques, and they make sure the wrestling aspect of jiu-jitsu and judo and the submission grappling that we do stays sharp. And for my kids, when they become of age, I strongly recommend that they go wrestle for Coach Jock to make their judo and their jiu-jitsu better. Because wrestling is a part of my low country grappling arts curriculum. But we have created a grappling community where the wrestlers, after wrestling practice, will all come to the grappling academy and train after hours and mix up with the jiu-jitsu guys. And a lot of the jiu-jitsu kids train, become part of the wrestling team. All three of my kids did. My son's going to be a senior, my last son on the wrestling team. My daughter wrestled for Colleton County, and both my sons. I got my oldest one's a daughter. She's 20. I got an 19-year-old and a 16-year-old, and all of them are Colleton County wrestlers. Little Stephan right now is a wrestler at Coker University, and Amaya is in college as well.
Oh, most definitely. You got a pretty... hey, boy, that's big, bro. That's major.
Thank you, man.
Yo, congratulations to that, man, because that goes to show that you've been doing something right.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
What is the early though? Like, because you said they was wrestling. So how long you had your kids into the wrestling or grappling?
They started in jiu-jitsu, and we just had Low Country Grappling Arts started as a little shed, and off of Highway 60.
Hold on. I gotta stop him. Because he said the words "little shed." Now let's back it up. Let's back it up. So, when did you get this calling saying, I need to make this a gym? Like, it's time to have a building so people can come to it.
It was actually my sensei at the time. I was a student. I didn't really take over for my sensei, Bob Minett, my instructor, until after COVID.
Okay.
But he called and says, hey, I want to start to build something for the community that could be big. We need an MMA school. We need a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu academy with proper lineage and proper credentials. We need a judo academy that's part of the, one of the federations that govern judo.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we need um, we need to have proper grappling, proper focus of technique and high level technique brought to this community. And he had a vision, and I believed in the vision, so I embarked on that with him. I think it was like 15 years ago. It's hard for me to say now. Well, Jordan was about
Whoa.
5, and he's 16 now. So I guess 11 years ago it started in that shed.
In that shit.
Yeah.
Did you was that something that y'all was donated, or you just was driving around and you was like, that's where we gonna start at, or just, I don't know.
It was the gentleman who owned the property. He had previously been a martial artist and kind of built that facility as a self-training facility, but he wanted there to be classes. I mean, it's out there in the middle of nowhere in Givens off of
Yeah.
61, close to the state park there. Um, but my sensei just needed a mat and a building so he could start his thing off. We knew he was gonna not be there forever,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
there was just a temporary place. We were there for like a year and a half before we started at the rec center.
So y'all started there. How big was the classes when you got that building?
It varied, just like now it varies. It varies from day to day, week to week, month to month. But I would say usually the kids' classes were 4 to, you know, 8 people on a good day. And it
Hmm.
was probably just about the same with the adult classes. 4 to 8, maybe 10 people would be a lot. But when we're talking there's a lot of people, most 5 of those people are just my family. Me,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
wife, and my 3 kids.
Okay, okay. And then y'all stumbled on to the rec. What led y'all to get into the rec with that?
Again, that was, my sensei Bob Minette understanding that we needed to be closer to the community and
Uh,
have more space. We got mats of our own. We started to get some equipment of our own, and so with him not necessarily wanting to go full on business mode and
yeah,
lease a
yeah.
place and start a LLC, all the frustrating things like you don't want to do but you have to do something like this. Um, the rec was just a good spot to launch it.
And who was the person that at the rec at that time was the y'all connect for that, or just get a shout out to them?
I You know what? I wish I knew. I don't know because we were there for so long. And like I said at first, administratively, I was just a student. Bob handled a lot of that.
Okay.
But then when I took it over, I would believe it was a guy named Rob.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
So y'all was having y'all classes at the rec. XYZ was going pretty good, and I guess it wasn't a home yet. It
correct.
wasn't a home. What was the moment where I guess you was like, man, yeah, it's good. I love this, but uh, not no more rec.
Well, the first thing that happened was COVID. And so the program at the rec center kind of had to end for a while. And then while it ended, my sensei, Bob Minette, he ran his medical issues worsened, long
Oh,
term grappler, old school judo guy, old school wrestler, and that stuff long term if you don't do yoga and some of the and functional fitness,
oh yeah,
some of the things I recommend to help repair the body, go see Colleton chiropractic,
yeah,
and make sure you're getting your back and your neck adjusted and maintained. These things could tear up your body long term if you're not taking care of it, doing tune ups and oil changes on yourself. Um,
yes sir, yes sir.
so I when COVID happened, his health went a little bad, and when it was time to come back, I had some people in the community like, "Hey, is jujitsu starting back up? We'd like to do jujitsu,"
Hmm.
And at first I was just like, "This ain't me. You asking the wrong person." But finally, I got a message from Bob, and he just says, "Hey, man." Um, I don't think I'm going to start back up after COVID. I don't think there's going to be enough interest, and plus, I'm
Whoa.
dealing with some health issues. But I was getting so many messages. I was like, well, do I have your blessing for me to just head it up? He's like, oh, yeah. He's like, absolutely. Start
Oh
it up.
wow.
And so I started. And after 2 or 3 months, I had, I took a picture and I sent it to him. He was like, holy smokes. I had like,
After COVID.
after COVID, I had like 17 people in my class.
Damn,
The
bro.
kids class was full. The adults class was full. And then my students pretty much a lot like Rick Rudd demanded that, hey, we want our own place. We want a place for us to call
Yes,
home.
sir.
We're tired of having to work around somebody else's schedule. We're tired of not having the flexibility to do this event, that event. We need our own dojo.
Hmm.
And I'm like, guys, I don't know. That means someone has to run a business. And they're like, come
Yeah.
on. And
Yep.
finally, shout out to Dr. Smith at Walterboro Family Practice, who is a silent business partner, a student, and one of the main sponsors of Low Country Grappling Arts.
Dr. Smith.
Yep, Dr.
If you're
Smith.
if you're watching right now,
Yes,
hand claps to you, bro.
Yes, sir.
Hand claps to you, bro.
The goat.
How did that Oh, matter of fact, before I go to that, I want to say shout out to Low Country Functional Fitness.
Yes, absolutely. Shout out to them.
Shout out to them because they also offer yoga classes, and they also offer that oil change and that tune up like you was talking about, stretching, and trust me, I did a workout with Rick. Yeah, 400 pounds. I had to stop. I was not going to. Nah, them boys lift big weights over there.
Oh yeah.
nah.
Yep.
But
they got something for everybody. If you don't lift big weight, you'll fit right in. There's just as many people who like to lift lightweight and get a good workout as there are people who like to lift big weight.
Lightweight, baby, not. Yeah.
A lot of people might be intimidated about a functional fitness gym like that, but if you ever try it, you'll realize really quickly there's nothing to be intimidated about. It's just a good, fun-loving environment, just like our academy. It might seem intimidating to start a jiu-jitsu class and walk out there for the first time with guys who slam and choke each other until you just say, oh, y'all are a bunch of lovable goofballs, and y'all just like to get it in. You guys like to work hard and train hard.
Now, how did that relationship start with you, Dr. Smith, with becoming into the gym with you? How did that start?
Dr. Smith, as he was raising his son, started to seek out ways that he could better himself and solidify, what his role is as a masculine man, teaching another boy who's going to be a man how to be a man. And one of the things he felt, and a lot of the people like Jocko Willing, Joe Rogan, these are all jiu-jitsu guys. A lot of people, in the podcast community kind of link with the MMA and jiu-jitsu community.
Okay.
So he started doing jiu-jitsu with me, and like most people do, when you realize this is something that makes you kind of badass, but also if you're a dork or a nerd or someone who traditionally wouldn't be looked at as that type of person, could still learn these algorithms, these equations, these body equations, and really be tougher than someone who looks way physically more dominating than you. But they just don't know nothing about a close distance fight. If you were to take them down on the ground, they would try to get up on all fours. You would jump on their back. They would leave their chin up because they don't know what you're doing back there. You would sink in a choke. And it doesn't matter that they're 275 pounds while they're sleeping. So a lot of people fall in love with it because it's like, oh, dang, I see how people who aren't very physically threatening could use this trickery to become very physically threatening in a way that people can't perceive just by looking at him. So it makes people fall in love with it. That's why there's like this cult following of jiu-jitsu. You kind of become what we call a jiu-jitsu nerd, where you're just trying to research all these moves and different algorithms. And so he fell in love with it. And from then we kind of became friends. And he was one of those people who wanted to be able to train on certain days that we couldn't train on because we were at the rec. So he was driving. I was teaching. Not only was I teaching at the rec, but I was teaching at National Karate MMA. Shout out to them. Very good striking karate school. They have a bully proofing program and an after school program. That's a good martial arts program as well. They were hiring me to teach jiu-jitsu for them over there. And he was training with me 2 times a week out here in Walterboro, and then driving 1 or 2 times a week to my classes in Somerville.
Bro.
So he was the biggest push. He was like, Stephan, what do you need?
Wow.
What do we got to do to make this happen? Do you need help? I'll give you help. You need someone to kind of just be a backup? I'll be that backup. So he helped give me the confidence to say, okay, he helped give some funding. He helped give support. He donated equipment. So big shout out to Dr. Smith, Walterboro Family Practice. Without him, there would be no Low Country Grappling Arts Academy.
I want to say something because I got to say this. And this is something that some people might know and don't understand. in this world we live in, you can't do nothing by yourself.
Correct.
You gotta have help.
People.
And you gotta have people. You gotta have people that's willing to, step in, donate, be there, show up, send a text message, say, bro, I got you. I see what you're doing. I know you handling it, but I probably can help you out in a certain way.
You have support.
Yes.
You have a parachute. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to fail. And what that was, you know what? That's really what he did for me more than anything was he talked to me about things, and one of them was like, he's like, what you afraid of? Well, I'm afraid I'll start it and just I won't do the money right and then it goes out of business. He said, so what? I'm like, well, you're investing in this and he's like, dude, so what if you open an academy and it ends up closing? Who cares? You tried. He's like, well, he's like, don't be afraid of failure. He's like, I ain't gonna be mad. You ain't, we ain't doing nothing that breaks the bank. And he just basically showed me like, don't let fear be the reason we don't do this.
Whoa.
And that was the strongest thing he could do for me. It's just be like, hey, if you fail, it's okay, bro.
Yeah.
And I never did. We haven't failed yet. Thank God.
Did y'all hear what he just said? Like, bro, I gotta have me some Kleenex in here, some tissue or something. My man about to make me tear up. My man say, don't let fear be the thing that stops you for doing the thing that's on your heart.
Yes, sir. I was about to say it.
I gotta push the button. Hey, hold on. What? Hey, Rick in the chat. I see you.
Yes, sir. What's up, Big Rick?
Hey, he'll say he said the best grappling gym in the city.
Thank you. Appreciate that, my guy.
I wouldn't mind one day. I'm not getting off topic. I wouldn't mind one day doing a gym day where all the gyms do a little fitness battle.
Yeah,
like
cool,
they put together like a little ops course, see what can happen from it.
Me and Rick have spoken about that, and shout out to Frederick Yates, the boxing gym.
Oh, yeah.
That's another one. He's right next door to me. That has been great for my students. We discount each other's students to make sure it doesn't break the bank to sign up for both programs. I truly believe in
seriously.
Yeah.
So y'all came together to work out a way where if you want to experience both gyms, you got that opportunity there.
Yes, we did,
and it don't conflict with nothing.
I offer people signed up with him a drastic discount. He offers people already signed up a drastic discount, and same with Rick Rudd at Low Country Functional Fitness. We're trying to make it to where if you do want to do more than one, because a lot of people who do jiu-jitsu like me like to lift weights, and also a lot of the people who train with me for MMA, and they'd like to get their hands better. So we're trying to come together, just like me and Coach Jock and Coach Michael with the wrestling team. We're trying to build a grappling community. Frederick, Rick, and I, along with people like you as the guy who's trying to give us a platform, and Colleton Chiropractic as a company who supports a lot of these endeavors. We're all trying to come together to build something that's mutually beneficial for everybody. One of my mottos, mutually beneficial for everybody, and just promotes positivity and good health. You promote positivity. Rick Rudd promotes positivity. Frederick Yates promotes positivity. Colleton Chiropractic is always a sponsor of a lot of the sports teams at the schools, and every time there's a health and fitness event, they're there supporting it. So I kind of include them in that little circle as well.
Oh, y'all heard it there first, man. Now, if you're just tuning in, man, I got my man Stephan in the building, and we've been talking about this, and we've been talking about that, and the chat going crazy now. So I don't want y'all to think I ain't paying attention to y'all, but I only got one monitor this time, so it's kind of hard for me to do what I need to do. But pretty soon we're going to have a whole situation. We're going to have a DP in the back handling everything, but this is what we're going to do. You talked about moving into the new gym, and your supporters. Now, are you married?
Yes. She's a business partner. Martika also, my wife Martika, is an instructor, one of the kids coaches, and She actually helps support the female side of the. Sometimes, even though she's not an employee coach,
Oh,
especially with having female wrestlers, you kind of need that female
yeah.
who's sports oriented, who knows how to coach young kids. She assists with the wrestling team. But yeah, she was also a lot like Dr. Smith. She more than anyone else, as a wife, only a wife can do, let me know, reminded me who I was and why I can do it, and
Whoa.
why every time you've been scared to fail at something, but you did it anyway, you usually have never failed. Well, really have never failed when I've set my mind to it. So she was there to help, there to support. She's a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. She's an avid wrestler. She's a judoka as well, and she's pretty badass too.
Oh, he said it. I didn't. So I was gonna ask you because females
Hmm.
is this could be a bigger tool for females who might can't. Like I said, they got an attacker.
Hmm.
Like this would be something for self defense to help them deal with a big person. And I'm just curious, in what way can that help? How can you do jujitsu help them?
Um, Here's what's different about grappling and jiu-jitsu than if you were to learn a self-defense that's striking based.
Okay.
Let's say a 120-pound 17-year-old girl, right? And
Okay.
you make her a black belt, a ace at kickboxing.
All right.
But then you take someone who is your size, and you're not a abnormally big guy,
No, no.
but if you know just a little bit about boxing, you have reach on her, you have an immense strength advantage,
True.
you're taller, you're just bigger and overwhelming. There's such a small percentage of girls who only know striking. It does exist, but a lot less girls are going to be able to use striking effectively because reach comes into play, physical strength comes into play, athleticism comes into play, which it does in grappling. But here's the thing: when you close the distance and tangle something up and take it down to where now we're both horizontal, now those advantages have been neutralized. This
Hmm.
person doesn't have the space to generate power to hit you as hard. They really don't know what to do with a fight that's happening that way.
Hmm.
So that is why grappling, jiu-jitsu, judo, wrestling is I would say a little bit better than striking martial arts. If a female actually wants to be able to I mean, think about every movie, Star Wars, when we got to take something down that's giant, what do we always do? We tangle up the legs, make it fall, and now we could attack it. But when
Yes,
it's
sir.
too big,
It's not,
it's not a level
standing
playing
up.
field. Yeah, yeah.
So you basically saying all females, all I guess no matter the age, should at least go through your class program to learn some type of self defense
Uh,
against a bigger attacker.
Absolutely.
Person is like just instead of mace. Everybody think they can mace everybody.
Yeah, yeah. And sometimes you just don't get to it in time. Sometimes,
That's a fact. That's a factor right there. You think you're gonna be able to get to the tools
in
that
time.
yeah.
Yeah, sometimes the only tools you got is your body. We're about to do soon. I'm still trying to pick the date, but it's going to be a little bit of a fundraiser, so there's going to be a small charge to it. But I'm about to do a women's self-defense class, and it's going to be geared to only women. And people don't realize when you talk about self-defense, it's stuff that's more practical than you think. It don't have to be me teaching a young lady how to try to beat up a giant, but for instance, in this women's self-defense class, we're going to talk about very practical things. For one, the first thing we learn in judo is how to break fall. Defending yourself
What?
against how to break fall. How do you fall down properly and not get hurt?
Hold
And
on,
if someone was to
Stephen.
take you down,
Hold on, Stephen. You, hold on. I'm laughing. I'm not. Yo, y'all bet. I hope y'all ain't say, yo, what's wrong with Vernon? You just said you need to learn how to fall.
mm-hmm, yep.
Seriously.
Because in judo, we're about to practice throws on each other, right?
Okay.
And so if we don't know how to fall properly, we're going to get hurt. But that's why you see these judo guys, they could throw each other and throw each other, get right back up, because we're falling in a certain way that protects ourselves. And that's the first thing we teach.
Wow.
My kids, if they're playing on the soccer field, if they're running and trip, you'll never see them fall on their face. They'll do what's called the forward roll because we know how to tuck and roll and be on our feet. So it doesn't matter if it doesn't do any good to teach you how to defend yourself against other people when all it takes is you tripping over a parking stone to take you out, if you get beat up by the ground. So some of self-defense is defending yourself from your environment, knowing how to fall properly. So in the women's self-defense course, there would be learning how to break fall, how to fall backwards, how to roll backwards, how to do a side fall, how to forward roll if I'm falling on my face, how to stand up if I'm being attacked, how to get from a seated position to my feet without being vulnerable. When someone tries to grab my wrist and pull away, how do I break a wrist grip? How do I get free? If they
Whoa.
try to grab me with two hands, if they try to grab me by my throat and pin. So it's not so much about a fight, because when a lot of times when someone's being assaulted, it isn't a fight per se, an altercation back and
Yeah.
forth. It's usually one person being attacked. And
Not
all
like
we have to do is stop that attack and get to safety. And that's a lot when I do women's self-defense for women who might not necessarily want to join a jiu-jitsu school, but might want to learn a little bit. That's also how to block a punch, the proper way to block a punch, how to cover up, how to use their guard if they land on the ground to keep someone from pummeling them. Very practical stuff. If someone's trying to grab you by the wrist and pull you in a dark alley, how do you break that grip? There's techniques for that thing. If you understand body mechanics, it's very hard for someone to control a person who doesn't want to be controlled.
Do you have any stories from any, you don't have to say nobody names if you don't want to, that maybe came to your class but then got in the situation and actually came back and say, bro, I'm actually glad that I took the class because I was able to protect myself and was able to get to safety without getting hurt from an attacker.
Absolutely. Well, a lot of instances of situations where kids have had to defend themselves in a fight. But, I get the facts after. I never trust or stand on business too hard with what a kid tells me, because I never know if they were really under the proper threat. So I don't usually brag about those kind of things. But I would say kind of the biggest win was when one time, and this happens a lot, but it never happened with this age group and this quickly. But one time I was doing a seminar at Colleton Chiropractic, and I was teaching the people how to do a forward roll, and how to do a break fall. So if you're falling forward, you could tuck and roll, and some people could be safe, and some people could even land on their feet after the roll if you keep the momentum going properly. And and I usually, when I do these demonstrations, I'll come out and let people try and participate. And I didn't think that was going to happen because I had an older age group that I was catering to for that demonstration. But I was surprised that they wanted to come out and try a break fall, try a forward roll.
What?
And so then
Damn.
I was at a game or soccer game or somewhere out in the community, and this little old lady pulled me to the side and said, "Young man, I just want to thank you. I had a very bad fall the other day, and I did that break fall thing you showed me, and I got a little bit hurt on my elbow, but I tell you what, every time I fall in the past, I've gotten way more hurt." And she says, "I don't know how I remembered that thing you showed, but it really helped me." Man, I was glowing when she told me that. And I hear this a lot from kids. Kids will tell me, "Hey, sensei, I was running on the soccer field and almost landed on my face, but I did a forward roll and I just got up and kept running." And, so the kids, I hear it a lot, but to hear it from someone at that age, that was amazing. That's what
Now,
we do it for.
I gotta elaborate on this a little bit. So you basically telling me this older lady, because see, some people think about self defense and what you offer. It's basically something that you use to against another person,
Exactly. Yeah.
not thinking that you could use it just in your day to day life
Exactly.
and just falling down and knowing the proper ways to fall down. Because like right now, as I don't consider myself that old, but I am older. But if I don't know how to fall, I can actually hurt myself and don't even realize it.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the first thing we got to do is train you out of your bad habits. And when we're falling backwards, it's better just to make our back round and try to roll instead of land like a flat tree. It's better to not try to catch yourself backwards, especially if you're being pushed down in a fight, because let's say you do catch yourself. Now you got both hands supporting your weight and your face totally exposed. But also, that's when the elbows, usually if you're falling violently and you try to reach back and catch, that's when we tear the shoulder tear. So we learn to kind of slap the ground and get our hands back into a protected position. So yes, it's very important to know how to follow, and it could be used on a day-to-day basis. You know, like I said, I can't tell you. One time, I wrecked my motorcycle. I was riding and pulled into the grass because I knew I was losing control. So I kind of veered into the grass to try to like stop myself. And the bike kind of laid down, and my brothers were laughing because when it laid down, I kind of like was thrown off of it, and I just did a forward roll, was back on my feet. I was back on my feet and looking at the bike, and the bike was still moving. Before the bike came to a stop, I was already on my
Ain't no
feet.
way,
So
bro.
yeah, yeah. So it's very
Bro,
practical.
this man is Superman. He got
No, not
Superman
that.
strength. My man literally said he got threw off a bike, was back up looking at the bike like he in some damn Tom Cruise Mission Impossible movie.
If my brothers Tristan and Tony, if they're in the chat, they could probably validate that story too. I
Hey
think they
yo,
might be in there.
where y'all at, brothers? I want somebody to confirm this. I'm not saying you ain't
Yeah.
telling a tall tale, but I need somebody to say, "Yep, I was there. I saw it." If I got pictures and videos, I want to see it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey yo, if y'all just tuning in, we got my man Stephan in the building, and but we been hey yo, this is not an interview. We just been I feel like we just been talking,
Hashing
like
it. Yep. Hashing it up.
yeah, just talking, man. We've been talking about the gym and talking about the journey he been going through from bullying, then to starting the gym, also from going to a shed to the rec, and now to his own building. Now, once y'all left the rec, what was going through your mind on day one in your own building? Boom.
Um, I'm the type of guy who feels like it's on me to keep everything driving forward, and even though I have support, and I have a huge support system. My students are amazing. My grappling family that I've built, and me and my wife have built. We would give nothing up for it. I've had job opportunities that I've given up because I can't move with having this gym here. I don't want to give up this gym, this academy. Um, but the first thing
Wow.
was just like a lot of people are counting on you. A lot of people are counting on you. The community, you know, the community needs this. You need this for your kids, so your kids have a safe place to train, so you can make them the type of guy you want them to be, the type of woman you want them to be. Um, so it just, I think I took a lot of undue stress. Anybody who really knows me knows that's what I do anyway. I'm a worry wart. I was very stressed out, but anybody who runs a small business, you with this, with your
Yes, sir.
growth, with
Yes, sir.
your, you know how it is. It's your baby, and you always gonna lose sleep over your baby.
Always, man. And some people don't understand, man, the pressures that we put ourselves under to
Yeah,
make sure everything is right when we're dealing with the public and other people. Because at the end of the day, your people want to see perfection, and sometimes we can't give perfection, but we try to get as close as possible.
yeah, yeah. People got to remember that we don't have to succeed. We just have to try.
Uh,
No one expects you to succeed, but everybody expects you to at least try. You
I'm
know.
sorry, Stefan. Someone said I was there.
Nice, nice. Who was that?
Oh, look, Marker. They got the last name though. Hey, you was there. True story. Logan.
Oh, Logan. That's my
Yeah.
guy. He's one of my best students. One of my best grapplers.
Oh yeah, and we got a shout out to your BL set up,
Oh
big
yeah,
bro.
yeah, big bro. BL, what's up? Scooter, what's up? Julius, what's up? Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Anybody at the academy, thank y'all for tuning in. Please follow Vernon Gilbert. Hey, Vernon has a subscription. If you want to support, Vernon is trying to support the Low Country Functional Fitness Gym and make sure they get the exposure they need. He's trying to support the wrestling team and making sure they have the exposure they need. He's trying to support the boxing gym and make sure they have the exposure they need. He's going to Colombia and giving situations that are
Ah,
happening on a whole nother level, racial injustice. He's trying to give a voice in our community to that. So if you have $1 for a subscription, there's not a better way to spend it in our community. Please, he didn't make people subscribe to see this interview, but he does have a subscription that helps him fund this and helps him be a platform for people like me. So please, if you value this content and you value the growth of social media content in our community, Come on, show them some love. 99 cents a week
Oh
or a
yeah,
month or
a month,
whatever.
a
That ain't
month. It's
nothing.
a month.
Yeah,
Not less than a month, and I do appreciate you bringing that up. And I always like to tell people, I started this independently, no sponsors, no funding, no nothing. Just jumped off the porch early and said, we need to have our own media where we can control some of the stories. Because sometimes live fire news ain't gonna do it for us,
yeah,
and we
no.
can't depend on them. So we need to have something in house where we can have our voice be heard a little bit louder.
With our subject matter, not something
There you
picked
go.
out for us by some guy with a suit and tie on that
Yes, sir.
doesn't live in our community.
Well, I mean, I put on a little collar shirt today because I thought I needed to look a little bit professional.
Yes, sir,
But
my guy.
I was gonna put on just a regular T-shirt though. But I said, you know what? I got big star coming in the studio today, so I at least want to put a little nice shirt on.
Humbled, humbled, very humbled.
He's a humble. Hold on. Oh, hey yo, the chat really love you, bro.
Oh man, I
Oh man,
appreciate that.
this is how I know you got to be a special person in the community because right now they're talking about you and the life you're living. So how does that make you feel to know that you got a lot of people that's behind you and some of them that you don't even see like that?
Bro, now you trying to make me cry? Is that what you? It's
No,
weird how that can actually happen on camera.
Oh yeah.
No, humbled, man, humbled. That's what I could never give up. You know, I could probably survive without being a jiu-jitsu coach. I could not survive without the people I have come to know and the people I have come to call family. Having people like-minded who don't mind training and sweating, who I could choke and slam, who could elbow me in the face, and at the end of the day, I know he didn't mean to. It was an accident. We were training, and some gyms, someone catch a bad elbow or something, a fight could break out. That's never happened in my academy because we're a family. We know, hey, I already know that was an accident, bro. Don't, man. Most of the time when people apologize, the other person's like, man, stop, man, that happens. I love these people. These are good people. These are people who I wouldn't have an impact on their life without jujitsu. Um, I wouldn't be as fulfilled as a person if I didn't have those kids running up to me, hugging me after class, without the parents telling me that their kid is 100% more confident now than what he was 6 months ago before he started with me. That's a great community that I've grown to be a part of, and that has found me as well. Some of those people that you see in that chat right now are people I have a lot of respect and I value their opinion on, And that's what I could not. So if I was to get some big job somewhere else, it better be the right bag because I'd be leaving something maybe not monetarily valuable,
Yeah.
but intrinsically fulfilling. That academy is the most fulfilling thing I do with my entire day, besides my wife and kids.
Now, I want to ask a tough question, and it's not going to be I don't think it's a tough question. Do you feel like you're officially healed from the little boy that was bullied to now as the man?
Absolutely not. I've did a lot of work towards it.
Yeah.
Every now and then, and if my little brothers again are in the chat, they'll be the first ones to tell you as it comes out. That bully slips out once in a while. Sometimes I realize when I don't have the words to confront a situation as a defense mechanism, sometimes I'll try to confront it with aggression. Now you would never recognize it unless you're like my family or you know me really
Okay.
well. I've got that so much in check. But I would never say 100%. I would say I'm properly healed for the age I am, and I'm self-aware enough to know that I'm not all the way healed.
Well, what would you offer to someone that might be an adult today that been bullied, but today they not even being proactive as you right now?
I would say, for one, don't be afraid to start something new. Don't be afraid to say, hey, I'm horrible at playing guitar. The best thing you could do at this later age in life is what most of us shy away from. Dive into something new. Go join Frederick Yates at the boxing gym and learn boxing. Go join Low Country Functional Fitness and become a fitness buff now. Learn to play guitar. do something new. Do something that challenges you, because you will see that gives your brain a focus. Most of those things involve neuroplasticity, which reroute the neurology of your brain. So we get stuck because kind of we're afraid to not be stuck. And if you're a person who still needs to heal, still needs to grow, please find a community with likewise interests, something that's bettering yourself. And a lot of times it's tenfold when it also helps the community, because that makes you feel so much better when you're doing good for more than just yourself. And you'll see a lot of that growth will occur through this new endeavor. Through you trying to be a better guitar player, you turn out being a better person. Through me trying to be the best black belt I could be and lead these kids and be an example for these kids and be a good wrestling coach and lead the other wrestling coaches as kind of the oldest coach on the roster, it's caused me to be, as of right now, what I could say is one of the best versions of myself, Because why? Because I have something to constantly work towards and challenge me. I got something to constantly build, and I'm building my character the whole time. Exposing things like issues with bullying as a childhood and stuff, with me realizing, hey, I need to work on that,
Oh, y'all heard that. Y'all heard that. Did y'all hear that? For some reason, I feel like I'm being healed by this conversation. And I'm serious, like, because like, we talked, but this is the first time we really talked, and I got to really hear a little bit about you beforehand to now, and I feel like I learned a lot. Hey, chat, did y'all learn something? Because some of y'all might know him longer than I do, and y'all might be like, oh, I already know all that. Just curious. Well, since you got the gym now, what is the plan? Or do you have a plan moving forward? Like what is the end goal that you want to see happen for everything? Your dream, XYZ.
My dream is for this to always exist in our community, to be part of a larger fitness community like what's happening now, to do events like I was trying to get to earlier, and then I kind of digressed and forgot what I was saying, but me and Rick have discussed putting something together that in my mind it's starting to, I would like to call it the Low Country Physical Arts Expo, where we do something like what you're talking about, and all of us gyms and probably a yoga instructor and Coach Jock and Coach Michael with the wrestling team all put on a demonstration of what our programs do, and have a station out there for people to walk up to, pick up swag, pick up information, and also have other vendors out there, that believe in holistic medicine and anything health and fitness related. Have a whole expo of those things, and all in one place, maybe at the rec center or at Rick's gym. So that's kind of a vision, but long term, legacy. This gym to always exist. The wrestling program to always exist, the two to always be married together, and that for if one of my kids want to take it over, it still exists with them heading it up. If one of my students like Austin or Logan want to take it over, it's there for them to head up. But legacy is the long-term goal for me, my family, and everything I've built so far, and the community.
Well, I know you talked about some of the people that were, a part of you to get from there to XYZ. Is it any order you want to give these shout outs to, to the people that got you to where you need to be? It don't matter what order, like the thank yous and XYZs.
First off, it'd have to be my dad. My dad never let me quit. I wanted to quit martial arts so many times as a kid. I wanted to go run with the wrong crowd. I wanted to do the wrong things. My dad said, no, you started something. You started something and you're good at it, and you're not going to, and I know that he's like, it may not be right for me to force you to do a sport or whatever, but I recognize when my son has a talent, and the Bible says that when you have a talent, it's a sin to waste it. And he's like, I'm not going to let you do that. And I'm not going to let you be a quitter.
You still have dad? Dad's still here?
Yeah, dad's still here. He's still kicking.
Is that do dad come out of the gym and throw you around a little bit still?
Nah, back in the day he did do a little judo when we were kids, but nah, he's got heart problems. He's an old man now. He can't do that.
He probably said, I ain't old. He might come in there and watch this Stephan. Don't play with me now.
But yeah, and then of course my wife. Without my wife, Also was one of the ones that said, hey, can we get out this rec center? I like it and all, but we're
Mhm.
built for more now. We've got she was a driving force behind making
What?
sure I took the leap of faith and signed a lease agreement on a building. We already shouted out Walterboro Family Practice. My students in general, Scooter. My kids, always leaders in the athletic community, whether it be soccer or wrestling, never afraid to do any amount of crazy training I tell them they
Mhm.
need to do. Stephan, Amaya, Jordan, I love you. You guys are inspirations to me every day. I hope you guys know that. Um, yeah, just the other day, my son Stefan went to a tournament. Was nervous that he had to go against this big, buff black belt from a highly competitive school. My son's only a purple belt; he's just a kid,
Mhm.
and you could see him. There's footage of this on my social media, and Mike's son standing next to this dude. I mean, the dude looked like the Terminator. He's jacked, got his
Whoa.
man strength, and here's just my teenage son. And to see my son dominate this cocky, over aggressive, black belt, that was a beautiful thing to watch. And my son's
Ah.
confidence, every time my kids realize through these sports that they could do anything and what they're capable of, and when I see other people's kids who train with me start to realize how powerful they really are when they
Ooh.
accomplish it, when they win a match, win a tournament, that is a high that no other drug could give you. Knowing that a kid is full of pride based on this something that you taught them and helped them with, and they're
Mm.
realizing I could do this, I could do anything. And it's an amazing thing.
Wow. So you basically saying you got to see the confidence. This like a kid that wasn't confident basically is confident now and now achieving things that they probably wouldn't have done before.
Oh yeah, I got this kid Nolan came to me. A hefty kid. He's not a small kid. He's kind of a more heavier set kid. Come in very out of shape, very low confidence. I can say his name because I know him and his mom wouldn't mind me using him as an example. Um, when I saw him, I didn't think he would stay. I thought he was going to do it and realize,
Hmm.
oh, people are trying to slam me. I got to try to slam people. People are trying to choke me. This young man is a competitive jiu-jitsu athlete now, is in the best shape of his life, has lost a ton of weight,
Wow.
could do a whole practice without having to sit out of class, and does every tournament he possibly can now. And just this, and I asked his mom, I'm like, is it just me? Or is this kid infinitely more confident than she's like, oh no, I've been meaning to tell you that. Since starting your program, um, very, very much a huge spike in confidence. I had another kid, Mason. I would never call a child a bad child, but
Ah.
I would say,
A little rough.
yeah,
A little
doesn't know
rough.
how to express their energy properly, even to the point where, sometimes he would say things I would consider kind of a dark thing to say,
Yeah.
you know, and he fell in love with judo, jiu-jitsu, grappling and fighting in a constructive way in a controlled environment. And his discipline, he went from a kid who was so wild that sometimes he just would refuse to do anything in class, and I would just be like, okay, then just watch. That's how we kind of how we handle bad kids. We try not to. I shouldn't use the word bad
Yeah. Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
Misbehaved kids. We try not to turn any kids away because a lot of parents bring their kids to me to help instill discipline. And I'm not even like the super hard militaristic discipline, but jujitsu is so fun, and the games and the things we do, when you keep getting excluded and you
Hmm.
can't participate because of your behavior, and you see that every other kid is using this discipline and using positivity, and you're the only kid that's kind of being negative, they generally tend to get with the program on their own without me. I don't yell at them. I try not to you know the kids need to have fun while they're there. They don't need to be berated while they're there. It don't need to be treated like schoolwork or homework. My first priority for the kids, besides teaching them self-defense, is to make it fun so they want to learn self-defense. So I spend a lot of time
Ah.
thinking up games and things to where the kids say, I can't wait to get to jiu-jitsu practice.
That's dope. That's
Yeah.
dope. It's just the crazy fact that you're saying that you're using somebody might call what you do violence. You got
Yeah.
some people out there, oh, they're fighting.
Yep.
And you're basically taking a child that's misbehaving and using this to get discipline out of them.
Yeah, well, yeah, using their love for it and the fact that they got to focus very hard to try to learn it because they know there's matches at the end of class and I want to win my match.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and if I keep getting sat out, I don't get to play dodgeball at the end. I don't get to do matches at the end. I didn't learn this technique, so now I'm getting beat in matches at the end. They generally just start to be more and more disciplined without. Now of course I talk to them. There's repercussions, push a position if we're being too unruly,
Okay.
but for the most part the discipline kind of comes with me just teaching jiu-jitsu. I don't have no special techniques of how to discipline a child other than just don't give up on them and understand that you're dealing with a child, not another adult. So don't have the expectations for them.
Mm-hmm.
One of my mottos is every day I try to remind myself that when the kid walks out onto the mat, they already got an A+. That's all they're expected to do today. They came. They didn't have to come, but they came anyway.
Oh yeah, you got a point.
A+. Anything you do after that, that's bonus. That's bonus because you didn't have to be here. A lot of kids aren't here. You came. You're being consistent A+. Now it's my job to make it interesting enough for you to want to participate with everything else. Nothing that goes wrong is ever the kid's fault. It's always the instructor, you know. And I take big pride. I take a lot of pride on my philosophy that kids, I try not to use the word that's wrong. I try to say, there's a better, hey, that was good, little Timmy. Let me show you a better way. Sometimes I do and I slip and I forget what my own philosophies are, but for the most part, it's never, hey, you did that wrong. How many times are you going to tell a kid they did something wrong before they feel like they don't have the ability to do something right? So if you're not careful with your language around kids, you could dishearten them and you could be something that makes them not like something. So I use language like, hey, that was good. Let me show you a way that probably it could be a little better next time. And you got to be very cognizant of how you deal with children educationally, especially when it comes to combat sports.
Wow. Yo, if y'all just tapping in, I'm with my boy Stephan. And we've been chatting it up, man. We've been chatting it up, man. The chat been going crazy. Yo, we got the gym owners in the chat talking. Shout out to Low Country Fitness. Shout out to my man, Rick with the boxing, Rick Boxing Gym.
Frederick Yates.
Frederick Yates. I be calling him Rick, but
people do.
I be like, oh my goodness, but I got two Ricks now because I don't want to get them mixed up.
Yep, that's why I make sure I call the other Rick Frederick, because there's Rick Rudd and there's Frederick Yates.
Rick Rudd.
Yeah, Rick Rudd.
Rick Rudd.
Sound like a country boy. sound like a Jack country dude.
I'll be one day I'm gonna come by the gym and I'm gonna see that dude sitting in the chair with the guitar and I'm gonna be like, yep, I knew it. He could play the guitar.
Yep.
The bro, you literally touched everything I was thinking about. I was gonna go a different route, but I just let the conversation unravel. But you said something early in the interview, and I was going to tap on it, but I'm going to tap on it now. You said you came from a single-parent home. Do you feel like that maybe molded you differently? Or, you feel like some people feel like that's a disadvantage to being in a two-parent home?
I think it probably was a disadvantage. But then, like any disadvantage that any person who has grown or healed from it, somehow that person found a way to take that disadvantage and make there be an advantage. Who knows? Maybe if I had two parents in the house, I would have had a better situation. I never would have been put in judo. I would have been watched over by my mom while I was home, and I wouldn't have got bullied out in the neighborhood while dad was at work. I would say it had a lot, of course. And when it happens to where the child had both parents for a lot of its childhood, and then abandonment, I would say, is probably worse than not having that parent or not knowing them at all. When you have a mom who loves you, who you feel like loves you to death, all the way up until the point where you're 6, 7 years old, and she just ups and leaves one day, tells you she's going to see you every 2 weeks, but then, you don't see her for 8 years, of course that's going to have a traumatic effect on a child, especially the oldest child who's been with her the longest. So I would say it was my kryptonite as a kid, and now it's what makes me Superman. The fact that my dad was a single parent and that motivated him to be the best parent he could possibly be because he had to fight for custody of his kids, and he wanted to make sure he could demonstrate to the world and any court system and to himself that he was giving us every opportunity to be successful individuals in life, and he did a good job of doing that. So the main person I want to shout out is my dad. Without my dad, none of this would be possible.
Later in life, did you ever get a chance to have that conversation with her?
With my mom,
Yeah.
plenty of times. You know, as older people tend to do when they have a history like that, there's a lot of selective memory that goes on. There's a lot of her sticking to the perspective she had at a time, not able to relate to what a 6-year-old's perspective is in that situation. You know, she probably um would feel offended with me using the word abandonment, even though there's no other way to call,
Yeah, I mean,
taking off for
yeah.
Las Vegas and telling your 3 kids I'm gonna see you every 2 weeks, and then you see them 8 years later.
Vegas?
That's the first place she went, but she ended up in Canada, LA, different dudes. Um, but yeah, what was the question, buddy? I lost my place on that.
Oh, no, you good. I was just saying, when you got the chance to talk to her, how did that conversation go?
Oh, a lot of selective memory. A lot of some of the things I would talk about, she acted like she didn't remember. You know, she also had. I also have 2 other brothers that she ended up having. Once we reunited with her, we realized she had 2 more children,
So
and I've had to have.
five.
Yeah, I've had more talks with them to try to get them to understand because they love our mom and
Yeah.
they're very close. That's their only parent, so they have a different perspective than me. So they're the only ones I've ever felt necessary to have to answer to on why my relationship with my mother is the way it is. They don't really understand because they came later. Um, but now she just has selective memory and tries to act like it. She had the best intentions, but anybody looking back knows you were just serving your own.
Hmm.
What made you happy in the moment is what you were doing, and you know. So it just does no good. It does no good to try to rehash that up with people who haven't did the work yet.
I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. Me, I grew up 2-parent home, so what I mean. I can't. Some people try to offer advice. It's hard to offer something when I'm not sure because I never experienced it. But I did had one of my best friends. He grew up a single parent home. He had only his mom's, and you had your father, and which is I mean, having one parent only, no matter which one it is, I still look at it as the same.
Hmm.
Because if you got just your mom, you're still missing dad, and if you just got dad, you're still missing mom. So
Hmm.
it's like you're missing a part of the love,
Yep.
the full love.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And
The balance of masculine and feminine. Yeah,
yeah,
you're missing that. Yep. Absolutely.
they say they
100%.
try to say, what I'm saying, you learn certain things from your mom and you learn certain things from your dad, and I do understand that, because if I didn't have my moms, I probably wouldn't understand certain things now.
Correct.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, shout out to all the people that's in the chat, and shout out everybody that's if you are in a single parent home right now, you know what I mean, that doesn't mean you can't be successful in
Correct.
life,
Correct.
because basically you just went against the odds,
Yep.
and you basically got a family of your own, kids, and a loving wife. And
Absolutely.
almost in the way you was talking about her, yeah, she supports you.
Oh yes.
Now,
100%.
how did y'all meet anyway? I don't know why I didn't ask you that.
High school, ROTC. We've been
Whoa,
together for almost 20 years now. Since 2005.
y'all high school lovers.
Over 20 years, but married almost 20. Yep. Yep. We are. We are.
I Wow.
Yep. Yep.
ROTC.
ROTC. Yeah. Yeah. She was a freshman. I was a senior. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. We're only 2 years apart. She got a late birthday.
Hey, he say do not do it. Hey, I'm waiting to see somebody. I see somebody in the chat gonna be loud. Somebody gonna smile. Nope, they taking their time. So basically, y'all been in ROTC and y'all been together ever since.
Yep. Yes, sir.
What is the secret to that?
Man, I don't know. If someone tells me, please leave it in the chat. No, we've had our ups and downs like anybody else. I wouldn't even try to use the hubris to act like I should be the one to tell anybody how a relationship is successful. What I can say is definitely if you're thinking that Is this going to be something that doesn't beat you down once in a while, and you're not the type of person to take a beat and, like Rocky says, get back up? Um, then you're just going to cut and run on your relationship. But if you're willing to fight through hardships, because no matter how long sometimes the time is the thing that could make it complicated. You changed over 20 years. The people
Ooh.
me and Martika and I are 20 years ago were very different people today. And
Hmm.
so that's been different phases and stages and chapters of our lives. We've had to learn to recommunicate. Um, so what the secret is, I could only say it's the secret behind anything successful: hard work. Hard work.
Ooh. Now, hard work. What about love? Because some people say love is everything, but I believe that love is half of it because you got to have a good friendship with that person.
The reason I didn't say love is because I think that's the easy part.
Yeah.
It's easy to
Yeah.
love a person who does the things for you that you want them to do, who gives you the attention at least sometimes. And you could love, and a lot of exes and people who have baby mamas and baby daddies will probably be the first one to tell you, you could love someone, but just not stand to be around them. Some of the people out there got a
Ah.
lot of love for their ex, but that don't mean they could be around them. So, um, yes, love is definitely a key ingredient for a marriage, but it's not going to be the thing that gets you through. The thing that gets you through is going to be a willingness on the behalf of both people to do the hard work, to always find a way to, as we change and grow as humans, try to make sure we change and grow together and not apart. And if one party or the
Mm.
other isn't paying attention to that, it could veer off course really easy. So that's why I say hard work. Not that loving someone is hard,
Yeah, yeah.
or it's supposed to be hard to love someone, but you should wake up every day and your first concern be, what can I do today to make my spouse life easier? And if that's not your first thought, then you're probably not tending to your relationship the way you should be.
Ooh. Yo, yo. Did y'all just heard what he just said? Bro, I feel like he just dropped some Dr. Phil's vibes over there.
Hey, I stole that from Dr. Phil. Hey, you got me, man. I stole that from Dr. Phil. I'm not gonna lie. He says that all the time. Dang.
I don't know.
Man, you felt the vibe right
I
off
felt the
of it.
vibe. I was like, hold on, bro. Did my man just lay a Dr. Phil on
Yes,
me?
I did lay a Dr. Phil.
Hey, Dr. Phil is a suffest. So hold on. I
Hey, I
can't
be
even get the
learning
word
some
out.
stuff from Dr. Phil. I ain't gonna lie. Trying to be emotionally mature.
Emotionally mature. I mean, so now that you are a grown man today, do you feel like you made your mark in the world yet?
Yes, I would say if I was to complain about what I got, the community I got behind me, the people who tuned into this chat just to support me and you, I don't got no right to be nothing but thankful. For my
Ooh.
wife, my kids, this program, Coach Jock, Coach Michael, the wrestling program, and the support they give me. I highly suggest that if your kid's playing sports in the high school or wants to start a new sport, please take up wrestling. It will build a different kind of man or young lady out of your child. They will have problem solving skills and be hardened to a point to where people cannot stress them out, situations cannot stress them out, because they have been in 1000%, 1000 times more stressful situations on that wrestling mat than anybody could ever put them in with words or situations. So please, 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 if you want to get into a new sport, see Coach Jock, Coach Michael with the wrestling team. If you want to get into boxing, see Frederick Yates. If you want to get into jiu-jitsu or grappling, submission grappling, wrestling, and you're not in school, come see me. If you want to wrestle but you're not in high school, that's what you could come to LGA for.
Mhm.
And if you want to get healthy and get fit, please see Rick Rudd with Low Country Functional Fitness for sure.
It's summer. Do you have a summer program for the kids?
No, I do not, because I work a day job,
Okay.
so I couldn't be able to tend to the kids properly as well.
Okay, okay. Because I was just because I'm shout out to Low Country Functional Fitness. They have a summer program,
Kids
and
camp,
the
yeah.
kids can over there. And I was over there last week, and boy, oh boy, I did not. Both them kids was having fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Shout out to them what they got going over there. But is there something that some we don't know that you want somebody to know about you?
Um, I think it's the what I would want people to know about me is basically been the point of this whole interview is that I take a stand against bullying. I take a stand against our kids being bullied in these schools, and I take a stand for not just being one of the people talking about that there needs to be more stuff in this community to do. There needs to be more options, but someone actually trying
Wow.
my best to do something about it.
I am so. I almost cursed just now. I am so glad you said that because I feel the same way. I feel like the kids they need more things to
To
do.
do.
They can't just iPad. They can't
Yeah.
just be on phone TikTok. They gotta do physical things and they have to have things and programs and things that's not just here and there that works together where they bring the whole community
Yeah.
together and you just cannot put it just on the church.
Yep.
You can't say the church can't do it all by themselves. We got to do things outside of the church,
Correct.
and I'm glad that y'all providing opportunities and things for that to happen.
Thank you, man. Thank you. And I'm glad you're providing opportunities for people like us. And like I told you before the park, but I think we weren't live at the time.
Oh no.
We kind of see you as, Rick and me and, us little gym operations that are, trying to get established. We kind of see you as the same type of thing, a small operation that's trying to grow yourself, but also do good in the grow yourself through something that does good in the community. So
Yes.
we're happy to have you in our circle. You're on our
Oh
side,
man,
and
I
we got
appreciate
you
it, bro.
behind us. And that is something very necessary because what we do wouldn't get the exposure it gets from someone who's trying to put themselves out there every day doing lives. It doesn't matter how many people's watching. You got to do that live. You got to
Yes.
stay consistent. And people don't realize the hours and the sacrifices you make. So I could come on here and tell people about what I got going on. So I appreciate you, my bro. Thank
Bro.
you very much for letting me use your space and your platform
Boy,
to
I
speak.
appreciate. I really appreciate that, man. And since you brought it up, man, like it's the hours. A lot of stuff that y'all see this,
Now,
but y'all don't know what it the hours it takes to put this together. The sound checks. The shout out to my on my team. Shout out to my man Mike. Kanye E. Shout out my man Juice Sincere. Shout out to my I got to shout out to my girl Yaya. And I know she watching. I think she getting her hair done right now. So I can't wait to see that hair done when you get done. Shout out to my moms, my two sisters, and my son. I just I just something just said to shout out to them because I my family has been one of my biggest supporters. When I was wanting to quit, they was like, you can't because you
hmm
done came too far.
yeah,
And sometimes even though you might look at successful, but sometimes we're not where we want to be. But we just can't you can't stop because you done came too far.
exactly.
So yeah,
And if you quit one thing, then the next thing gets hard. You quit that too, and then the next thing gets hard, and then you quit, and then next thing you know, you're just 55 years old with a collections of things you never saw through, because
man.
everything in life worth doing is a little bit difficult. So, you know. That's one of the strongest things I could say. The reason I'm here today doing this podcast is because every time I said, Dad, can I quit doing judo? Can I quit doing wrestling? Hell no, son. You started it, you're gonna finish it. You're not gonna be no quitter.
Not the hell no, son.
And now I get to sit here and talk to Vernon Gilbert in Colleton County community about Jiu-Jitsu. I'm so glad my dad didn't let me be a quitter.
Boy, shout out to Pops, man. If he's in most of, I would love the opportunity to meet him one day.
You probably will.
To shake his hand and be like, "Yo, hey, Stephen, say that you ain't gonna toss him. So I want to see you toss him one day." I
He
would
probably would. He probably would. We could probably make that happen.
Oh man, hey yo, shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to
Shout
everybody
out
that
to
been
the chat
tuning in,
for
man.
sure.
This has went a little over the schedule. But it's been awesome, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Yeah, we got to do this again. We
Yes,
got to do
sir.
this again.
Yes,
And
sir.
and I feel like I know you, but I still feel like there's some. You like an onion. You got a
There's
lot of
layers.
you got a lot of layers there, bro.
A lot of layers. Yes, sir. Hey, salute to the chat for real. Thank you guys for coming out, tuning in. The support is much appreciated. I mean, without people to view and consume the content, Vernon wouldn't have a reason to make content. So thank you
Oh
for
yeah, oh
hanging
yeah.
with us tonight for sure.
Oh yeah, man! Shout out to everybody that's been in watching tonight. If y'all haven't shared, or if y'all haven't clipped something, I need y'all to everybody that's watching right now. I want y'all to find a spot in this live after we
Please
shut it down and
clip it up,
clip it,
clip it, chat,
and send it to somebody
clip it
because
up.
we're trying to grow and we're trying to take this to the next level. And just like he said earlier, he didn't get what he got by himself. He got a team. So with the community and the people that's watching right now, we calling out. We calling y'all out right now.
Yes,
And we
sir.
need y'all to do this so y'all can push this out. And also go to his page, like something, share something,
Please,
follow. Matter of
please do.
fact, send him an inbox. Say, bro, send him some motivational words. Because guess what? He's a positive person in the community. But sometimes we get tired.
Yes.
And sometimes we might need that person.
Fill my cup.
Yeah, put something in the cup.
Yep.
And we're not just talking about Kool-Aid neither.
That's right. That's right.
Well, hey, bro, I want to say I appreciate it,
I
man.
appreciate you, brother.
This has been way more fun than I thought it was.
It was a blast.
And I'm glad I put a good shirt on.
Yes, sir. Hey, if I could just end by saying, hey, if you want to try jiu-jitsu, come to 1106 North Jeffries Boulevard, Low Country Grappling Arts. Monday through Thursday, kids classes start at 5:30, adult classes start at 6:30. 843 539-6450. If you're interested in getting your kid involved in the Colleton County Wrestling Program, please look up Coach Jock Glover or Michael Aiken on Facebook, or if you contact me, I could put you in touch with them. Thank you guys for coming out, and I appreciate y'all. And Vernon, I appreciate you letting me have a platform tonight.
Oh no, man, appreciate it. And y'all heard what he said. Make sure y'all go follow. And matter of fact, man, you know what I'm saying? While I got y'all watching right now, when is the next open enrollment for your gym? Like I guess for people to come in and just to see how things is.
Anytime they come out, they do 2 free classes, so we don't even make you sign anything.
You
but
do
just
what?
2 free classes, and then you get to decide if you want to pay a monthly fee after that. So we let you try it on before you buy it.
Y'all hear that? Clip this. Y'all clip this part. I want yeah, we got about 10, 12 people watching right now. I want to see all of y'all at the gym tomorrow.
Yes, sir. I would love that as well. I would love
That's the bet. I want to see y'all there tomorrow. Hey, yo, man, clip it out, man. We over. We out. I want to say love. Appreciate everybody. Yes.
Yep.
Hold on.